Hi there, it's Jack, the Deputy Editor of Forestry Journal magazine, and I've made my way down to the John Clegg stand where I'm joined by Simon. Simon's third day of APF, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. So the reason we're here is to promote our services. We buy woodlands and sell woodlands and value woodlands for people. So we're looking to speak to people who may be investors. I've met a few investors here, or people who already own woodlands and are maybe looking to sell it, or some kind of woodland service. We've also had a little sort of special 2-hour slot where I've talked about the market in Scotland, and I've talked about the forestry carbon market as well.
Perfect. And how has it been in terms of attendance? I mean, a lot of people think it's way up. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, well, I think this particular show, most of the people here are contractors working in the forestry service, and to be quite honest, that they're not really the people we're trying to speak to. But there are also people here who are interested in investing in forestry, or people who already own woodlands, and it might be a fairly small percentage of the attendance, but they're the ones we want to talk to.
And when you're talking to them, what kind of things are you talking to those particular people about?
Yeah, so I had a conversation with a guy on Thursday. He's got quite a bit of money to invest in forestry. He's new into forestry, so he's going around the various stands, listening to the stories he's getting told by everybody, trying to work out whether there's a bit of a pattern or not. But he doesn't have enough knowledge to buy a woodland himself, so he's going to need someone to help him to buy it, and that's the service that we offer. Like an acquisition service.
Yeah, and that's interesting, that particular story there of someone coming in who's not maybe got experience of forestry. Is that quite common? Is that something you're seeing growing potentially?
Well, yes, I think there are quite a few people who've kind of heard about forestry as an investment opportunity. It's become more popular, and over the last 10 or 15 years it's also been a really good investment. So it's got quite a lot of press, in the financial press, that the performance has been so good that lots of people go, right, can I have a bit of that as well, please? Yeah. So that's been good.
Yeah, and what have been though the trends in the market at the moment over the last year or a couple of years?
Yeah, well, the trend in commercial forestry has been upwards quite dramatically. So then people say, oh, right, okay, so over the last 10 years, you've probably made at least 10% per annum on forestry. So it absolutely knocks spots off practically any other investment. So then they say, so what's going to happen in the next 10 years? And to be quite honest, you can never really say, can you? But I think the background trends are strong because as the economies decarbonise, we're going to have to use more wood. So the demand for wood is definitely going up. And if the demand goes up and the supply is fairly tight, then the price should go up. So, all the signals are positive.
Yeah, and I guess that planting more woodlands so we can get more wood, is that something you guys are involved in particularly in terms of trying to push that? Yeah,
so we do have clients who are interested in planting woodlands, so we're promoting that as well. And I had a conversation with a guy, and he's got money to invest, and he thought he would buy an established woodland. And I said, well, you don't have to buy an established woodland, you could buy a bit of farmland and create your own woodland. So there's two ways in, if you like.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting thing about potentially buying farmland, because that's something that's been really pushed, particularly by the UK government. Is that something you're seeing there? A lot of that's becoming a bit of a trend?
Yeah, absolutely. So in Scotland, there's probably I think about 10,000 hectares of woodland get planted every year in Scotland. In England, it's lower than that. It's about 2,000 hectares. So the UK government have got a target of planting 30,000 hectares a year, and we're not even halfway to that target. And that target is essential from a carbon sequestration point of view. They're not going to meet net zero and all that kind of stuff unless they plant a lot more trees than they do at the moment. So I think it's quite concerning how few trees are getting planted in England at the moment. Scotland's leading the way. I'm from Scotland.
Yeah, so we can show about that as much as possible. And I guess maybe just more generally, maybe touching this, Simon, but how do you see, from your kind of point of view, having that overarching look at forestry, what kind of place do you see the industry being in at the moment?
I think the industry's in a really good position. It's in a strong position. The economics of forestry are good, so people are making money, and all the policy drivers are positive. Basically, people want to encourage more new tree planting. They want to encourage more management of existing woodlands. So I think it's a really positive time to be in forestry.
Yeah, I think we would definitely echo that. Simon, thank you very much for speaking to us. Thanks for the time.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.